feel like a fugitive in these streets. Every time I step on the scene, all eyes on me. It's like, can I get a moment of peace without someone putting their 2 cents hating on me? Middle finger up, up to the sky. I don't give a what, my head is still held high. Can't nothing hold me back in case of enemy attack. I'm always watching my back. Yeah, it's like that. Cause I'm still winning, 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 cause I'm still winning. The sun's still shining, I'm always grinding, I'm still gon' be me. Yeah, I'm winning, yeah, I'm winning, yeah, I'm winning, yeah, I'm winning, yeah, I'm winning. Cause I'm still winning. I got haters, rumors start us, instigators, people are jealous. Yeah, you see me in the shows, all up on your TV, watching my videos. Yeah, B-B-B-E-N-T. Why you hating on me? Your girlfriend wanna let me be. Your talking just covers up your insecurities. Can't nothing hold me back, I'm always watching my back in case of enemy attack. Yeah, it's like that. Cause I'm still winning, 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 cause I'm
We leave tonight. I had the honor of meeting this young lady several years ago, and we instantly just were attracted to each other for some reason. It had to be the Lord. Many of you know her. Just in case you don't, I want to give you a little bit about her. She is not only a remarkable community activist, she's not only one of the few women athletes at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga who broke, God knows, how many scoring records, rebounding records. She was named into the Southern Conference Hall of Fame, something that is really, really rare for someone of her caliber, should I say. She's known in the athletic world. She's done so much. And this is her brainstorm. This is her vision. This is part of her vision. Regina, where are you? Come on up here when you get through talking. Come on up here. This is just a portion. Yeah, she deserves this and more. You know I love you. This is just a portion of what she is capable of doing. Those scoring records, but this is her vision, part of it. I'm gonna let Regina, let me rephrase that, allow Regina to come and give her testimony and listen to it. It's powerful, it's powerful.
Everybody, I mean, people came from out of town, my family, some of my family's here, people that I train kids with. I just want to thank everybody, the speakers, the wife, the people that worked in the kitchen, Yanetta, the DJ. I mean, they made this possible. And I mean, of course, we're going to thank God, who's head of my life now. You know, my Lord and Savior. I thank Him so very much. And I know we took a long time to get started, and I apologize for that. But I'm not going to stay here very long because it's funny that I didn't know Tori's testimony, and I've never heard Marcus's testimony. But guess what? All our testimonies are similar. Right. And it's so crazy. But I know that God is going to use all of us to change our youth, to change the world, and just to impart Him into people. Because if it wasn't for Him, like they said, none of us would be here today. Yes. I could have been dead. I could have been locked up. Yes. Yeah. I went to school in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's where I'm from. Grew up in a family of a single family with my mom. My dad was never really there. He was in and out. And I know a lot of kids grow up without their fathers, and you know, that could be a problem that the kids are facing because it was a problem that I faced. And without the headship in the home, it's just hard It's hard, it's hard. You make bad decisions. You don't know really right from wrong. And I'm just gonna tell a little bit of my testimony, because like they say, we could be here all night, and I don't want to keep everybody all night. So my testimony is, well, after I left college, after I left high school, I went to college and I played basketball for UTC, and I played before UTC, I played all my life. I played basketball all my life. That's all I knew, basketball. So I went off to UTC, was a star basketball player. I played for 4 years there and broke numerous records, like he said. And then after college, I went on to overseas to play basketball for 3 years. And then I came back to the States. And I'm gonna go back a little bit because I grew up in church, but it was just like everybody else. We grow up in church, but we just go there because we're demanded and told to go, okay? So once I went off to college, I never saw a church. So I went on to play overseas, I never saw a church. Came back from college. After hair school, I got into the field and I was a hairstylist. So I am a hairstylist too. But anyway, never saw a church. I started to train with a guy named Andre Davis. I tried to get him to come just to give just a little bit of briefing about how we talked about, Regina, what's your passion? What do you like to do? And I said, I don't know, Andre, I do so much. And he said, well, that's where God gonna use you at, where your passion is. And I said, for real? He said, yeah. And then he invited me to church, and now mind you, I hadn't seen a church in a long time. And I thought to myself, I said, well, maybe that's what I need to do, because I really had started or had been making wrong choices in life. And I felt like, hey, I'm involved with the wrong stuff and this really ain't me. So I felt like the conversation that me and Andre had, it was meant to be, because I needed to rekindle, or I needed to be born again. Yes. And so anyway, like I said, I went to church and I started going to Olivet Baptist right across the street here. And I went to church and I love church. It was so different. I mean, I felt like a totally different person going to church. Now, mind you, I was still doing things caught up in the world like Marcus and Tori. I was also caught up in the game. I did worldly things. I hung around wrong people. And so anyway, me going to church kind of enlightened me on a lot of the things that I was doing wrong and that I had seen that was wrong. So just a little briefing on how I even got involved in the game was seeing other people do it. And it was just a thrill to see, like Tori had all that money. When we see money, we be like, wow, how can I get that much money? What can I do to get that much money? And that became the devil's play in my mind, a curiosity. What can I do to get that money? And I'm a basketball player, so I like challenges. So that was a challenge for me to get that money that I saw on that floor. So I was working at a Crystals, and I kept getting my paycheck. So one of my girlfriends, she was doing it, and she told me she was gonna show me one day how to do it. And I kept waiting and waiting. She ain't never showed me. So me being a competitor playing basketball, I said, I'm gonna show myself. And I began asking questions and began getting involved myself. I took my little paycheck from Crystals, and they say, the guy told me, well, it costs like $150 to get an 8-ball. And I said, for real? Got a paycheck, it was like $175. I was like, wow. So I go and purchase an 8-ball. So now I got drugs in my hand, and I'm like, okay, now what I do with it? So I had to ask some more questions. They said, you break it down, you put it in the little sacks, and you sell it. I was like, oh, okay. So that's what I started doing. And then it was like they said, y'all, if y'all let the enemy in, he gonna come and he gonna build and he gonna build and he gonna build and he gonna keep building. And that's what happened in my life.
Yes, it's okay. All Okay, Regina, give it to us.
So, not only did he build in my life, that he also was in my relationships. He was in my relationship with other men. He was in my relationship with my family. And things never worked in my relationships. It was causing distance in my family. So, with that being said, the devil had practically built his own house in my head and in my mind. And like they said, we thought we had it going on. I had the cars, I had the materialistic things, the clothes, the money, could travel to Atlanta, spend $1,000 in a store, and buy my friend something. So, once me and Andre had our conversations and I started to go to church, I started to consult God about a lot of issues that I had in my life. And he began to give me answers. And I thank God for that, because those answers was what I needed to be born again. And once I rededicated my life at Olivet, my life began to be so much peaceful. I used to be able to relate to people in relationships. He began giving me my vision of what my purpose was in life, because a lot of times we do not know what our purpose is. And for us not to know our purpose, guess what? We lost.
Yes.
And I was I was just in darkness. I really was. And I thought a lot of things was right and it was wrong, even relationships with men. I thought, hey, that's my boyfriend. I can have sex with him. I can do this and that with him. But come to find out, I was wrong. They were wrong. And God was right.
Yes.
So I started to live a life for him instead of, like they said, for man. If you live with man, you'll never win. And without God, I found out I was nothing. I thought I was something because I had a little bit of money and could do this and do that. No, I was absolutely nothing. Not even with the things with UTC, the accolades that I got, I was really nothing with that. And UTC really showed me that, because after I even broke all those records, I continued to ask them, why am I not into the Hall of Fame? Or not Hall of Fame, why wasn't my jersey retired? Well, we don't do that, or whatever excuses they gave me. I started to put my head down and feel like I did all that for nothing. So come to find out, what led me to doing the things that I'm doing now as far as my Regina Kirk Foundation, these testimonial banquets, was first and foremost, it was God being in my life and me making better decisions. Second of all, they inducted me into UTC and Southern Conference Hall of Fame, and I said, God, what is this? After all these years, I have graduated from school, and now I've lived my life and made all these mistakes in life, wrong decisions, my trials and tribulations. He said, those are what made you who you are today, not back when you had the records, but today, that's what made me who I am. So, that's when I said, okay, now what you want me to do? He said, I want you to start helping the youth. Now, me being in Chattanooga, like they said, there's a lot of crime here, and there's a lot of youth that's involved in the crime, and hey, I don't have relatives that the crimes happen with, but it just saddens me and breaks my heart to hear things are happening with our youth here in the city. So, like I said, with me consulting with God, he's just giving me vision after vision after vision. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I had the vision for a testimonial banquet a long time ago. I asked Pastor Adams, I said, hey, let's do a testimonial banquet, because I was on fire for God. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. But for some reason, God pumped my brakes, and he said, I got something for you in store. You just hold on, and your blessings are going to come. You just keep following me. And not that I've been a perfect person, but I have followed God, and I do have him in my life, and he's head of my life. Yes. So no matter what mistakes that we make in life, guess what? God is still there, and Marcus knows he's going to pick us up. Yes. And the theme of my banquet is, won't he do it? Because guess what? God will do it, and if he did it for me, I wish we could have more youth in here, but it's coming. It's coming. And let them know that God will do it, and to give them hope and encouragement. Because I felt like I still was by myself with a lot of things, but still, God was there for me. And when I'm weak, he's strong for me. And it's a lot of times I'm weak.
Yes.
I'm weak because I feel like it's just really me and him. And he does. He comes through like never before. And I encourage anybody out there, just keep God first. Just keep him first. And he'll be there. He'll be any answer we need is in the book.
Yes.
And I found that out and I didn't know. So I'm here to say that I thank God for being head of my life. And I thank God for my turnaround in my life. Because if it wasn't for him, like we know, ain't no telling where we would be, behind bars, 6 feet under, because I've had guns to my head as well. So, hey, I know it's funny, everybody say, that can't come from a woman, but yes, we go through those trials and tribulations also, and hey, I thank them guys for being transparent. More of us need to be transparent. And I know this is my first time speaking. And it was hard. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let the mic go. There's a lot of things that I've been through, even here in Chattanooga. Like Tori mentioned, people going to talk about you. People going to try to stab you in the back with what you've done in your past. But we all know that what's in our past is in the past. And I thank God for that. I thank God because there was a spirit of fear that was holding me paralyzed of what God had in store for me.
Yes.
And I'm too blessed. I am too blessed to let fear or anything else hold me back when God got my back.
Right.
So won't he do it?
Yes.
Please, because I thank these guys also for coming out, the vendors. Will y'all please just visit their booths? And I'm sure Ricky finna come up here and tell about his book. He got an awesome book, Still High. And when I say that book is so life-changing, if you guys know anybody that's still high, y'all need to get that book and share it with them.
Right.
Bless them with it.
All right.
Okay?